Hello and welcome to Channel Divinity, a 5th edition actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I'm Trent. I will be your DM for this homebrew campaign, and going around the table with me I have...
I'm David, and I play Captain Fenmore.
Dean, and I play Sable Ravenwing.
I'm Gordon, and I play Ashad.
All right, and last time on Channel Divinity, we started Season 2. The crew is in Zonari.
Woo! Party in the desert.
Desert Island.
Desert Island. Not Desert Island, unfortunately.
Desert Island, yum.
Oh, yo. The crew fought a giant scorpion at the beginning and then had a little bit of a conversation as they traveled. They are now around a day away from the city of Drendar, a full day away. They're one more day away from reaching the edge of the basin, which will lead into the bowl of Zonari, the dried up lake bed. They learned a little bit about, or Sharon, who is with them, learned a little bit about the wall, keeping out the undead, and the captain saw a glinting figure in the distance, and a new star appeared in the sky that was very bright. I think that's all of the most important things that happened, but as you could probably tell, I'm a little rusty. It's been a little while. Also, we didn't mention this in the first episode, but we switched to recording online. So we're recording over Discord and Adobe Audition right now, and so it's a different experience for everybody.
Yeah, so
Hopefully we can still make it sound just as good for everyone.
Yeah, so if the audio gets better or worse, that could maybe explain it.
Hopefully it gets better. That's what we're aiming for.
Hopefully it gets better. All right, well, we're going to jump right back into it. The morning you all wake up, you're a day away from the basin, you pack up your camping gear, and you begin to travel farther. With that nat 20 from last session, I'm going to say Ashad still has perfect directions of where to go. A good sleep doesn't get rid of a nat 20. Maybe.
If
Ashad,
Trent feels like it.
Depends on when I feel like it. Ashad, would you have fixed your gun last night?
Yeah, I would have buried myself in the sand and started working on it.
All right, you want to go ahead and roll another tinker check for me?
Yes. Nat 20. I'm not joking.
All right, you fix your gun, spick and span.
Let's go.
He also gets a new gun somehow.
I have a new gun.
A loot crate falls from the sky, and it's got a machine gun. But when you open up your gun, you actually find the reason it got jammed was the bullet that you would put in there, because you fashion your own bullets out of the bones of the creatures you fight. The bullet you had put in there wasn't sanded all the way smooth, and so it had caught on the side of the gun and wouldn't go. And when you put in monster guts, it didn't
worse.
really smooth that. So, but you managed to get that out with a little extra time last night.
Okay, cool.
All right, and with that, you are traveling. What is the travel order? Same as before?
Yeah, so I'm in the back, Ishad's in the front, and then Sable and Sharon in the middle with the two camels, Frank and Vesper.
All right. As you are traveling, Sharon is making conversation with Vesper, the camel. And just kind of like just a playful one-sided conversation with Vesper the camel. Can I get a quick perception check from the people in the front and back? And then Sable, what are you doing as you travel? Are you also trying to be aware?
Yeah,
or?
I'm trying to be aware.
All right, you can roll a perception check too.
I got an 8.
Okay.
9.
Also a 9.
All right. None of you notice anything of much importance.
Well, shoot.
Nice. Easy day of travel.
Yep.
Yeah, you just keep.
That means there's
keep
nothing.
traveling. There's nothing really to worry about. and you keep traveling. And probably about halfway through the day to maybe 2/3 through the day, it's maybe 2 o'clock, you get to the basin. And when you reach the basin, you can tell you're reaching there because the sand starts to become less and less, and the ground starts to become more and more rocky and more dried and cracked. And it also is starting to slope down, which means you're approaching the edge of the basin. And as maybe not most, but all the lake beds that I've been to, they slope down gently for a time before they do a very harsh slope before they reach the bottom of the lake bed.
Yeah, so basically reach like a cliff.
Yeah, you're going to reach a cliff at some point. And you know you're going to reach there soon.
Okay.
Cool.
Do we have an idea of
All
how
right.
we would get the camels down?
You know that there are certain stations around where they have pulleys and lowering systems that you can lower down camels and people. So you just have to make sure you find one of those. And with Ashad's perfect directions, he's leading you right towards one of those.
Awesome.
All right. And with just you keep walking, I guess no other conversation, you make it to this station. And you see a man, you see a small tent covering the sun and a canopy in the front with a man sitting on a chair right at the edge of the cliff. And there is a large wooden, almost crane that seems to just have a bunch of ropes coming off of it. And as he sees you approach, he goes, hello, my friends. And he stands up and he walks out, and you see he's got those white wrappings all around with a turban on his head with a dark, deep chocolate color for his skin. And he goes, how are you today? Looking to travel down into the basin?
Have I met this guy before?
Yeah,
Like, would
actually,
I be tight with this guy?
we'll say you have met this guy before. You know that
All right.
this guy's name is Manuel, and he works here.
Sweet. I'm going to go up to Manuel or Manuel?
I guess Manuel.
Manuel. All right. I'll walk over to Manuel and I'll give him the desert handshake where we clasp up top with our left hands and then on the bottom with our right hands, and we go through the dunes and through the valleys.
All right, he repeats, through the dunes and through the valleys, my friend. How are you doing?
It's good to see you. I'm doing great. Getting used to traveling with these people, but it's good.
Yes, seems you are traveling with no one that is native to the isle.
Yeah,
Make sure the desert doesn't eat them.
I'll make sure.
Very good. Well, you know my standard fare. That's 5 gold for each person and 10 gold for each camel.
All right. So I look at the captain. I've got the people. You got the camels, right?
Let's see. I
Because that'll
didn't
be
talk to
that'll
you.
be 20 each.
Yeah, I didn't talk to you, Trent, about gold. Do I have gold?
I don't know. Do you
He's
have gold?
actually
Sable
broke.
will pay. How
think
much was
so.
that?
5 gold per person and 10 gold per camel.
40 gold.
Well, I was gonna
Sable,
pay.
But also, do I have gold?
I'm sure you would as the guild captain. Yeah, you would.
You can have. We'll say you can have 400 gold.
Okay. And the Sable goes to pay as I'm trying to fish my pouch, and I'll say, no, I got it. And that's 20 gold then that I owe, because we're splitting it.
Yeah, I'm splitting it.
Okay.
So
All right. With all the payment up, he ties the rope of the crane around. Actually, he says, who wants to go down first?
I'll go down first.
All right, you know the drill. And he grabs the rope and he pulls it down and he makes the loop really small and he says, go ahead and put your foot in there.
I put my foot in there and
All right, you rest your foot
Hold
in the
on to the
loop,
rope.
almost like you're standing right at the edge of the cliff. And then you hold the rope and he just starts cranking and you get lowered down to the bottom. And once you're at the bottom, you take the rope off.
I'm going to take this time as I'm like lowering down. I'm going to look over the basin and just admire the view.
Roll me another perception check.
16.
With the
Plus 4.
16, as you look out into the distance, you see a bunch of clouds building, and you know that there seems to be a sandstorm coming.
Oh, so these are like sandstorm clouds.
Yeah.
They're not like rain clouds.
No, not
So
rain
gotcha.
clouds.
Is it a haboob?
It does seem to be a haboob.
I smile a little bit because this is how I get my scales like sanded down a little bit.
All right. And you make it to the bottom. And once you're good, you call up and he starts cranking back up and he says, all right, who's going down next?
Sharon or Sable? We'll do
Sharon
2
steps
down,
forward.
then the camels, then the other 2.
Of course, my friend. Sharon steps up and goes, all right, okay, let's do this. And she puts her foot in the loop and she starts going down and she's holding onto that rope with like white knuckles as she's lowered. And she gets all the way down to the bottom, reaches the bottom and kind of like, okay, I'm fine, okay, I'm okay. And
All right, that'll be me next. Or let's send a camel down first.
Yeah, let's do one camel
very
at
well.
least.
Manuel opens up the slip knot, makes it really big, and puts it around the camel so it's holding around its stomach. And then...
I try to calm the camel down.
Yeah.
Just like get it ready.
Roll me an animal handling check.
7.
The camel does not really want to calm down. And Manuel kind of just looks at you and goes, well, do you want to do this the hard way or the easy way?
Yeah, I don't care about Vesper. Just put him down.
Okay. And Manuel just kicks the camel off the edge. And the camel goes and just starts kind of falling, but Manuel quickly grabs the wheel so it doesn't just spin out of control. And so the camel is now on open air, kind of swinging gently, and the camel is just freaking out as it gets lowered.
I'm going to move back like 10, 15 feet because don't want to have any residual people get
This man is strong. Camels are massive. He just kicked it.
Well, it's like a pulley system with like locks and stuff, right?
No, yeah, but he did just kick it off the edge.
Oh, yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah.
And so the camel reaches the bottom, and the camel is just completely freaking out. But with a nat 20, the camel actually manages to calm down and doesn't pass out.
Sharon walks by because she was talking to the camel earlier and is like, shh.
Yeah, Sharon walks up, camel whisperer, shh, calm yourself. And then calls up, we got Vesper, it's all good, he's fine. And she undoes the rope, and Manuel brings it back up, takes down the second camel. He looks at you again. You want to calm him down or just do it the easy way?
I'll try to calm him
Sable
down
will
again.
try to help as well.
All right, Frank, it's going to be okay. You've done this before.
All right, so you have advantage
10.
because Sable is helping.
Oh, perfect. 10. I add nothing to this.
I am
I
proficient
don't even
with
have a
animal
wisdom
handling,
modifier.
so
All right, with a 10, Frank is a bit more of a sturdy camel. He's done this a couple times, whereas Vesper is like, he's fresh. So Frank actually is like, he knows the drill.
Oh, yeah.
And so Frank gets lowered down very calmly. And then he brings the rope back up. Which one of you two is going next?
After you, my lady.
Sable will roll her eyes and step forward.
All right, you step forward onto the rope, and I need everyone, as you're about halfway down, I need everyone to roll me a perception check.
It's because I cut the rope.
Natural 20.
And you were saying be kind to our clients.
4.
21.
Okay, well, the natural 20 and the 21, as you look off into the distance, you actually see diving from the sky a flock of vultures.
How far away?
On top of you.
I have a range of 600 feet, so...
Okay, when I say on top of you, I mean like they're dive bombing Sable right now.
Oh, okay.
And as they get close, they don't get a surprise round because you saw them, but you notice that there's only probably 3 of them. You notice they are undead.
Can I aim my pistol up and shoot one of the vultures?
Well, we're actually going to roll initiative.
Oh, okay.
Your good perception checks made it so they don't get a surprise round on you guys.
Got you. Okay.
I got a 14.
22.
Dirty 20 again.
Okay. Sharon got a dirty 22. The order is going to go. Someone else got a 22, right?
I did.
What's your dexterity?
+4.
Okay. You and Sharon got the exact same thing and have the exact same dex mod. So,
Roll off!
You can go first. You can go first because you're dangling in the air. Then Sharon will go, followed by Ashad, followed by the vultures, followed by
Captain.
Captain. Sorry.
Captain, my captain.
Captain, my captain. And then I guess Freya is around your neck as you're getting lowered right now.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
What was the explanation about Freya that we were given?
She's my pet.
That's it?
Yeah.
Just have a pet Drake. Sounds good.
Yep.
I'm not gonna ask questions. I'm a professional.
You've seen weirder things in the desert.
all right, Sable, you are halfway lowered down from this on this cliff, and it is your turn first. You have one hand on the rope, which means you only have one hand free.
Yeah, so that means I can't use my longbow or my double scimitar.
Yep.
And to be honest, I probably can't draw anything right now but my knife.
That's fair.
So that's what I'm going to draw. Are they close enough?
No, they're probably around 60 feet away from you right now.
Okay, I'm going to... Am I still getting lowered?
Yes, you are
How
still
much
getting
will
lowered.
I get lowered each turn?
Each turn, you get lowered 60 feet.
How far until the bottom?
You've got another 3 turns before you reach the bottom.
Okay. Wow, this is a really tall cliff.
Actually, you know what? That doesn't make sense that you would get lowered 60 feet. A turn is only 6 seconds. That's way too fast.
She's zooming.
We'll say you get lowered 15 feet each turn, and I'll still say 3 turns till you're down. We'll say you were closer to the bottom.
Okay, that makes sense. So the cliff is about 100 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the closest vulture.
Okay.
And then, I draw my dagger and I'm going to prepare an attack action to attack it when it gets close.
Your dagger or your Templar sword?
I'm not allowed to use that against non-corrupted things.
Okay, that's good you remembered.
But yeah, so just my dagger, because I'm kind of
Alright.
trapped.
You pull out just your dagger and you just sit and wait. Sharon sees the vultures incoming, and she quickly pulls out her bows and goes, dang it, Sable. And she shoots one of the vultures out of the air with a 16. It's a hit.
Freya will use her reaction to infuse it with cold energy.
Okay, that means I get to roll an extra d6, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, Sharon rolled very poorly for this damage. She only does 6 damage to it in total.
Sweet.
To one of the vultures. And again, as she shoots, you see the green light kind of sparkles at the front of her arrow. And then Freya looks up and a white light glows around the arrow tip as well as it shoots. And it hits the vulture, and the vulture just kind of but it hit it not in its wing, so it is still fine to dive bomb. Next up is Ashad.
I'm going to roll to hit with the newly repaired pepper box. That's an 11.
An 11 is a hit.
Wow. All right. I'll take it. I take aim, use the little bone notches that I've carved into the top part of the piece, and then fire.
Which one are you firing at? Are you going to fire at the same one that Sharon fired at, or are you going to fire at one of the other 2?
I'll fire at one of the other 2.
All right.
And that is going to be for 10 damage.
All right, with 10 damage, you blast through this turkey, and its wing, you actually... I called it a turkey, dang it.
Turkey vulture?
Yeah, sure, it's a turkey vulture. You blast through this turkey vulture's wing, and you think, like, perfect, now it should start falling. But you see it doesn't start falling. And as you glance up, you see, even though there's a hole in its wing now, there seems to be almost like an energy connecting where the hole is. Like an ectoplasm of some kind.
I don't like that.
Are you going to use a bonus action?
I'm gonna action surge.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna action surge and shoot that one again, cause don't like them undead. Oh no, it's a 2. So it jams again.
Oh,
it happens.
All right.
So
you shoot and it jams again, and you're like, oh dang it! I gotta pay better attention to sanding those bullets.
Yep.
It was just a whole batch of bullets he made. They're just all bad.
Yeah, all that batch. All
you
right,
were in a hurry
this,
when you made them.
Yeah. The 3 vultures are going to dive bomb at you, Vesper. The first one that enters your range is going to be the one that Sharon hit with an arrow. So if you want to go ahead and swing your dagger attack on him.
Yeah. 18.
That's a hit.
7 damage.
All right, 7 damage. It dives bomb you, and as it slashes you with its claws, you stab it in the gut. As it tries to slash you with an 8.
That misses.
And then it tries to peck you with an 11.
Misses.
All right. The next vulture dives down and is still trying to dive bomb you. Pecks you for a crit fail, and actually, you know what? Pecks its friend for some reason. We'll say you were swinging on the rope from the first one, like kind of running into you a little bit. And so as the second one swung down to hit you, because you had just moved out of the way with rocking on the rope, it ended up pecking its friend and doing 9 piercing damage.
Nice.
Which actually causes this vulture to roll a death saving, undead constitution saving throw.
Oh, these vultures have that?
Yeah, because they're zombie vultures, which it fails. And so this one vulture swings through and pecks its other vulture friend on accident right through the head, and it just dies and falls and hits the ground. And the other vulture is just...
I should have added an extra d6 to that damage in the first place, but it's okay. Because of my hunter's mark.
Wait, why?
My hunter's mark that was
your
on
hunter's mark. That's right. That's right. Well, this one is, that one is now dead, so you can move your hunter's mark as a bonus action next turn. But, this vulture killed his teammate. And his turn is over from that crit fail. And the last vulture is going to dive bomb down. This time, it pecks you with a 23.
Ooh, yeah, that hits.
And does 8 damage with a peck. And then tries to claw you with its talons for a 22.
Yep.
And does 10 damage with its talons.
Alrighty. That was over half my health with those 2 attacks.
These vultures are glass cannons.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have... moving on to the next person in the turn order would be Captain, standing at the top of the cliff, looking down.
So which vulture looks... Is there a vulture that looks the least hurt?
Yeah, there's one vulture that looks like it's just a rotting corpse, and there's another vulture that looks like a rotting corpse with a bullet hole through it.
Sweet. So the one that doesn't have the bullet hole then... So Captain leans over the hill and says, buzzards. And he holds up the rapier, and it's wrapped in like bandages, cloth type of thing, so like you can't really see the sword very well. But there's like a pink glow that you can kind of see at like the pommel of the rapier. It's still sheathed. Pommel of it, there's like a pink glow, and then another pink glow kind of glows near that other buzzard as Captain casts Earthbind.
Okay. Do I roll against that?
So, one creature within range, its concentration lasts a minute. The range is 300 feet, so I think I should be able to hit him.
Yeah, you definitely hit him.
Strength saving throw. And you have to beat...
It got a 13.
Oh, my save is a 14.
Okay. You point your...
That little pink light glows next to this buzzard, and then sprouting from that pink light is pink ethereal, like vines with thorns on it, and it wraps around this bird and wraps and closes its wings, and it starts to plummet 60 feet per turn.
All right, well then it falls. And we already know it's about 45 feet in the air, so it falls straight down to the bottom, and it's going to take 46 bludgeoning damage.
Unless you want to round up for that 5 and make it 5d6.
No, I'll keep it set. And it takes 18 damage. That was very good rolling for that falling damage. And next up...
It just hits the ground right by Ishad and Sharon.
Yeah.
That's probably disgusting.
Oh, yeah. It like flies are crawling out of it, and like it's really gross. Back to the top of the order. Sharon. Nope, not Sharon. Sable.
I mean, so this is the second turn, so moves another 15 feet down, right? Still getting lower.
Yeah, you move another 15 feet down. No opportunity attack from the vulture because you're not moving, you're being moved, so you're fine.
Oh, okay. Then same thing. The vulture that's nearby me, move my hunter's mark with my bonus action, and I prepare a knife attack for if
you could throw your knife at it if you want.
My knife.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Okay, and I prepare an attack for when it gets within range, and that's my turn.
All right. Sharon's turn. She pulls out her. She's going to pull out her short sword, actually, and she's going to walk up to the one that's dead right next to her, and she's just going to stab it real quick. She gets a dirty 20, stabs it for 5 damage, and causes it to roll its undead fortitude, which it succeeds this time. So even though she stabs it, the glowing light starts to fade from its undead eyes, but then they burst back up with a regained intensity. And next up is Ishad.
I'm going to roll to repair.
Okay.
That's 15 before adding anything, so
you're fine. You have it
the 10
repaired.
that I have to make. Sweet.
And that's the end of your
That's
turn.
all I got. So I like flick it open because it like the handle and then the like notch keeps it connected by a hinge, so I can flick it open and then the little barrel is on the inside with the 6 shots or whatever. So I'm gonna take out the bullets and then reload in. Or not reload in, but like check the one that's jamming it and take that one out.
You flip it open and you see again, it was just another one of those bullets. It was just misshapen just a little bit. And so you managed to pull that one out and then you close it back up again. Next up is the vultures. The one in the air flies closer to you and you go ahead and stab it with your dagger.
Disable, yeah.
Yeah.
13.
That's a hit.
Frey is going to infuse my dagger with cold damage. I do 8 stabbing damage, and then 1 hunter's mark damage, and then 3 cold damage. So a total of 12.
It needs to roll on its undead fortitude for that, and it fails, and so it falls and dies.
Oh, thank goodness.
The final vulture is on the ground. Flaps its wings and soars straight at you, Sable, ignoring Sharon right next to her. Sharon gets an opportunity attack, which she hits. The short sword glows with a little green light as she stabs. Does a total of 11 damage. He has to roll his undead fortitude, which he fails this time. And so it tries to get up and fly straight at you, and Sharon manages to quickly stab it in its back as it falls, and the light finally extinguishes from its undead eyes, and it collapses to the ground.
All right.
We finished
combat.
Killed the vultures.
And Sable gets to the ground.
And Sharon runs up to you and goes, "Oh, Sable, are you okay?" And casts Cure Wounds on you.
Oh, thanks, Sharon, not Sable.
Sorry, yeah, Sharon. No, Sable does that. No, yeah, Sharon does that. And you heal. She rolled bad, so you only heal 4.
I will also cast Cure Wounds on myself.
While they're healing each other and stuff, can I go over to the birds and harvest their beaks to make a knife?
Go for
like
it.
A dagger?
Go ahead and roll me a Roll me a leather working.
It's an intelligence.
No, you're harvesting. So this is going to be using your tool proficiency and add your dexterity. So proficiency bonus and dexterity. So one of the cool things about lizard folk is they've got this ability where they can harvest dead creatures and make like a certain amount of weapons with the dead creatures. So like he can make daggers or javelins or shields out of dead creatures.
24.
Yeah, you harvest the beaks from these 3 vultures and you manage to make 3 daggers.
Can I make it so it's on the handle on the other side of the gun? So like there's like the rectangle part, which is the gun with like the barrel and the revolver in the inside. And then there's the handle. Can I make the beak knife kind of be on the outside of on the other side of the handle?
That will take some more time and doing than you can just do right here, right now. That'll take a significant more amount of time and maybe even a workshop to actually do.
Okay.
So, not yet.
Okay. But if I wanted to right now, I could just make it a separate knife.
Yeah, you can make it a separate knife for sure, but connecting it to your gun, that's a little bit more of a tricky thing.
As Manuel is pulling the rope up for me, the last one to go down, I'm just gonna, Captain goes, and kind of looks over at Manuel. These clients are like monster magnets. As he climbs onto the loop of the rope. All right, send me down. Stay safe.
You as well, my friend. Also, I don't know if you noticed that, but that was very strange. The vultures only targeted that one dude.
Like I said, monster magnet.
I guess. Stay safe, my friend.
You too, Manuel.
And starts cranking you down.
Thanks, Manuel, for your help. That's not his voice.
You're welcome. We will see you on the return trip. Maybe.
Sweet, and I think we'll head out.
And you begin to head out. You do remember that Haboob is incoming, which means you are going to need to set up camp and set up some kind of protection from the sand.
We have tents for that, right?
You do.
Yeah, so, I mean, can we roll some kind of survival or something like that for it to be like, as far as we can go before we need to set up kind of thing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and everyone roll me a survival.
I got a crit fail.
Nat 20.
12.
All right, well, the nat 20 is going to cancel out the crit fail. And you got a 12 and Sharon got a 15. So 12 and 15 are enough. You managed to push yourselves quite a bit and you managed to get a ways before you have to set up the camp to wait out the Haboob. And,
Sandstorm.
To be fair, this isn't quite a Haboob and it's more of a sandstorm. So you manage to push yourselves and you quickly set up your tents on this dried ground. And the ground is very, very uneven. It's cracked all over the place. There are big rocks. In some places, and in other places there are big dips and ditches. It's like the bottom of a lake. Very, very uneven. And as you set up your tents on it, you find a particularly flat spot. You quickly set up your tents and you get your camels' heads to poke into some of the tents so that they can, breathe and not have to breathe in sand. And then you manage to set up safe. Here's the question. Are all 4 of you in the same tent?
No, the ladies are in their own tent.
Okay, the ladies have one tent with their camel's head in, and the gentlemen have their tent with their camel's head in.
Can I step outside and do my sandblasting ritual?
Go ahead. You want to describe that for us?
Yes, and I'm actually going to take some damage from this too, which I'm fine with. But I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to stay low to the ground until I can get to like a safe spot where I can kind of almost T-pose, and I start doing this little chant, and it's almost like a little ward that I consider to be sacred-ish, and I spin in a circle to cleanse my scales, and then I'm gonna go back low to the ground and crawl back to the tent.
All right. You do that. You don't take any damage because you've got scales, and your scales are buffered. Quite nice.
Okay, cool. I was like, if I do take damage, I can do second wind, but sweet.
As he comes into the tent, so shiny. How long does the
You've seen me before.
Yeah, I know. How long does the storm last?
I'll roll for that, but I think Sable wants to have a quick conversation with Sharon.
Yeah. So Sharon, has anyone told you about how the lake bed came to be?
Not really. I mean, I don't really know much about the history of this island.
Way back in the God War. Oh, and you know how I told you about Ash and the Sandros being killed? Yeah.
I remember all that. I was there.
So
I remember.
after Xandros was killed, all the gods, they went and found their own little hiding spot. And so Zonari, I'm actually not sure exactly where Zonari went, but when she disappeared, the lake dried up. It used to be like a giant oasis here. They had just a huge lake, and that's why most of the island is this lake bed just in the middle, surrounded by dunes. And that is when everyone discovered the lizard folk. No one knew they were in the lake underneath. We were just sailing over them, or the people.
Really? How did they live down there?
I don't know. That was a long time ago. But I guess back then the lizard folk could breathe underwater, and there's actually still some lizard folk that can do that. They're on Hidalga. My friend Vesper used to tell me about it.
Sharon just kind of like looks at you and is like, look, it's just you and me. You don't have to like they're not here right now. You can just be, you can be just cool, right?
Come on, love. I have to keep in character. It's really hard to keep this accent up. And if I break character, it makes it so much harder to get back into it.
All right, fine. Your friend Vesper sounds like a really cool guy. So cool, I named this camel after him.
I was meaning to have a word with you about that. But, Vesper, he was a great guy. He and I were actually engaged, I don't know if I told you that.
You did not tell me that.
So,
how does that work?
The accent drops. The real Sable's dead, right?
Yes. Sorry, I got a little confused for a second.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
sorry about that.
Anyways, so Vespa told me about the lizard folk over on Hidalga. They live in the lakes there. They can breathe underwater still. But then the lizard folk, they evolved to the desert. And that's our friend over there in the other tent. He's one of the ones. They stayed here, waiting, I think, for Zonari to return.
Oh. That's nice of them. There's only one person that was really waiting for Acheta to come back.
Eliza.
And, and Eliza, well, I guess maybe Stag too, but like...
Yeah, there's a handful.
Yeah, it's good for...
well, as we know, Acheta might return in the near future.
I know. Hopefully Cassiel can do something about that.
Yeah, I hope so too. Anyways, so that's why there's a lake bed here. The lake dried up. And the place we're going, Goon, it's actually a city originally. Well, it's an outpost, really. But it was originally built by the lizard folk. Underwater, in the canyons, in the lake. And so when, people started exploring the dried up lake bed, they found it, and Goon is actually there's quite a few little outposts here and there, but Goon is the biggest for sure.
Oh, that's cool. And you continue to chatter on, telling her a little bit more about your adventures with Vesper and how great of a guy he was.
Yeah.
And the storm passes in only around 3 to 4 hours after that. And when you emerge from your tents, you see that your footprints behind you are completely gone. Everything has been washed clean with this dirt. I guess washed is maybe the wrong word. Has been wiped clean with this dirt. but the night sky is crystal clear. It has never been clearer. And when you look up, you see that star again. And this time, not just you notice it, everybody notices it. Because a normal star is like a pinprick in the sky. But this star, when you look up, it's a lot bigger than a star should be. Like a lot bigger.
With my studies, and my particular studies with history, can I roll a history check to see if I can't identify what this star may be?
Go for it.
It's a 6. Actually, it's technically an 8, but yeah.
You have no idea.
Okay.
But you know it's not the gray star.
Cool.
Mainly because the light coming from it's not gray, it's red.
Oh, it's red.
Oh, the star's red?
This is a red-looking star. You failed to mention that key detail, like the color of
Well, I mean,
the
you
star.
couldn't tell the night before. You couldn't tell the night before, but this night you can tell. It's like a mixture of white and
Do
red.
you guys see that?
Yes, that's...
I'd have to be blind not to.
I've never seen a red star like that.
It's so
Not much we can do about
it's
it.
so big.
Might be a comet.
And actually, as you are all looking up at this, roll me a perception check.
9. Man, I'm rolling horribly.
18.
Crit fail.
That's like 3
Yeah.
crit fails for you, Gordon, isn't it?
Again, these are my rolls. I prepared for this according to what I knew, and it's still just crit fails.
Wow.
So it is what it is.
Well, Sharon got an 18, and so Sharon and Sable, both of you at the exact same time realize something. This star is actively growing bigger.
Fellas, that star is growing bigger. Is it coming towards us? Is it even a star? Actually, I have seen certain things. We need to get moving. Let's go.
Can I look at the star with my spyglass?
Meteor is a rock that floats in space.
Can I look at it with my spyglass? Just if I can. I mean, it's in the
Sure.
sky, but maybe I can see a little more detail.
Yeah, roll another perception check with advantage.
9.
Nah, yeah. You still can't tell. You can through the spyglass you can tell that it's growing, but you can't tell any details.
Well, it's
Do you know something about that star? Why are you suddenly so worried?
Well, I just know that there are people with the abilities to fly around and machines that can do it as well. Like the soaring fleet, you know?
yeah, I've heard of them.
no, I actually don't know.
Yeah, well, there's flying boats.
All right. Is that one of them?
So I don't know, but it's heading towards us. And I think we should head
Well, what did you get on your perception check again?
18.
18. You can't tell it's coming towards you. You can just tell that it's growing.
Oh, just that it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
I looked at it with my spyglass, and if it was a ship, I probably would have been able to tell looking through the spyglass, so I don't think that's what it is.
Okay, well, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Looks
But,
like a red and white star.
Well, I guess we should keep moving. Maybe we'll keep an eye on it.
It is. You can see it because it is nighttime.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we lost all of our daylight hours. We should probably just sleep for the night and go back and start in the morning.
Well, all right. Let's pack up then and hit the hay, I guess.
Can I roll like a history check to see if it's tied to any like legends that I've heard from the other lizard folk?
yeah, go for it.
It's a 9 plus 11.
There are a lot of lizard folk legends about the stars and the sky and like what they mean, but you don't remember any legend about a giant red and white star that's growing.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you can be sure that your people are freaking out right now.
I snicker a little bit to myself and then just walk back into my tent.
All right. And what's the order of watch going to happen today or tonight?
We'll just keep the order the same, I think.
All right. So that's who starts
That's me
again?
first.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Crit fail.
You die. I'm just kidding. Nothing at all eventful happens. In fact, you kind of find yourself lost, kind of just staring at this star. And as you're staring at this star, you actually start to drift off to sleep. And the only reason you know you're asleep is because you suddenly find yourself in
I was going to try to come here anyway.
That's like a very fancy, like casino-like room. Lights, like glowing pink flashing lights all around, and like music kind of drifting through. But it's the only thing in this room is a couch, a table, and then another couch. And on one of those couches, you see sitting down is the most beautiful woman you have ever seen in your life. Whatever your perfect, whatever your perfect partner looks like, that's what you see right now.
Do I need to describe that?
If you want to, what your character's perfect person is, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
I think the person he sees in front of him, just like him, has pretty pale skin. She has green eyes instead, and she has like really long black hair. So black like his as well, but like hers is like if she was standing up, it'd be down like past her bum. Like it's like real long. Yeah, and then she's just very pretty.
And as you appear, she stands up and she walks very sultrily towards you and says, "Why, hello there, darling. Go ahead and sit down and let's have a chat." We're going to quickly jump away from you to... we'll come back to that. Don't worry about that. The next few watches go on without much of a hitch. But each watch, the star grows bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it's just as big as the moon in the sky. And at this point, which would probably be around Sable's watch, maybe just at the end of Sable's watch, you can tell a direction that it's heading. And it's not coming towards you. It seems to be heading southeast of you, towards the island of Brahm.
Oh no.
And that is where we're going to end this episode of Channel Divinity.
Blink! Watch out!
Watch out, Blink!
Well, thank you everyone so much for listening. I'd like to do a little bit more, but we're out of time, so we've got to wrap it up. If you could please leave us a 5-star review, that would just mean the world to us. And if you leave us one, we will read it, and we'll give you a little shout out to express our gratitude towards you. I think that's all from me. Oh, wait. Going around the table we have...
I'm David, I play Captain Thanmores.
I'm Dean, and I play Sable Ravenwing.
I'm Gordon, and I play Ishad.
And now we'll see you all next week.
Keep tuning in.